Okay, in today's video, I will talk about takinter in Python. Okay, and setting up your Python to be capable of calling Java classes. Okay, so first you need to download JDK JRE. Okay, and then you need to set up the following in your Windows environment variables and system variables. Okay, so I have here my JRE. Okay, so this is my JDK. Okay, my JDK version and my JRE version. Okay, so using this link. Okay, and then you need to go to system properties. Okay, environment variables, and then create a new user variable. Okay, and type here JDK home, and then the variable name should be the path of your JDK version or the JDK that you installed. Okay, and another one, path, just click new and then type path, and then the path of your JRE bin browser. Okay, so this path, click OK, it will appear here. And then you also need to add system variables. Click new. Okay, so type here path. Okay, like this. Okay, path, and then the location or path of your JDK bin. Okay, so after this, you need to download and install Visual C++ compiler for Python. Okay, so this file, this one, so Visual Studio or Visual C++ for Python. Okay, and then you may need to also install Python, okay, interpreter or compiler. Okay, this one, so just download this file, okay, online, and then you need to go to command line, okay, and type the following. Okay, so install pip, install Cython, and then pyjnius. Okay, just type all of this here in the command prompt. Okay, so after this, okay, so you should now be able to run Python GUI. So takinter, by the way, is installed, or takinter library, by the way, is installed by default. So you can automatically run GUI applications here like this in Python, similar to Perl. Okay, so simply type Python and the py file that you wish to execute. Okay, spelling. Okay, so the GUI example is this one. Okay, so as you can see, so let's look into the first example. Okay, so this one uses JNIUS, okay, so that we can run Java libraries. Okay, this one is a Java library, and then use this Java library inside Python. So as you can see here, we assigned this library to this variable. Okay, and then we create an instance of this and store it to this variable. So this two variable, by the way, is different because this one is capital S and small letter s. So you can now use this variable, the small letter s variable, and call some method associated with this library or class. Okay, so as you can see, if I run this, it will call the following methods and return the following. Okay, so let me run this one. As you can see, okay, so using the Java library, we can use it inside Python. Okay, so in the next example, we have here using takeInter. Okay, so we have here the output. Okay, so we have here the output, and then I have here the source code. Okay, so first, to display something like this in Python, you need to specify a library, takeInter. Okay, and assign it to tk. Okay, so tk now, you can tk is simply a library, okay, inside this class. So we can now call this and assign it to a variable. Okay, actually the entire output of this is similar to what we did in Perl. Okay, I simply just converted it to Python. Okay, so this one, my, is we're going to use my, okay, because my is the entire tk library. We're going to use my and create a GUI or form like this, specifying the dimensions. Okay, and we have a title, this one. Okay, that is what is seen here, Python XML Java Creator. And then we have a label, this one, a label. Okay, and assigning a coordinates. Okay, so we have okay, the position of this, okay, x and y, okay, dimension. Okay, and then we have an entry, okay, this one, okay, which is this entry, and specifying a coordinate of this input box, x and y coordinate, where you wish to position this input box anywhere in your form. Okay, and then we have a button, this one. Okay, so our button, create XML, this one. Okay, every time you click the button, it will call this subroutine. Okay, so this is, by the way, in Python. Okay, so the first statement of the subroutine, okay, will simply get the value that is inputted here and the value that is inputted here, and then assign it to this variable. So the ent here is because, okay, this input box is assigned as ent. Okay, so since this input box is assigned to ent, we can get its value. Okay, as you can see, it's called ent. We're going to get its value and assign it to a variable. Okay, so this is a condition. If the string is empty, okay, this is an if statement in Python, we're simply going to change the value, okay, or insert a value in this entry. Okay, so there will be pwede blank that will appear here. Okay, if it's blank. Okay, that is what you see now. And then it will also change the button's text, as you can see here. Okay, so but is, by the way, the name of our button. Okay, so as you can see here, but is the name of our button. Okay, changing its value if the input box is does not contain any string. Okay, otherwise if it contains a string, it will call this one. Okay, it will call our this one, our class. Okay, our create file class. So our create file class, okay, as you can see here, requires a parameter. Okay, so fn will become our file name. Okay, so any value that is inputted here will become the file name of our XML file. Okay, so it will be assigned to this variable or object. Okay, and it will change the buttons text to create XML. Okay, so the file, by the way, that will be created will be placed here. Okay, so if we go to that location, okay, and input a name, as you can see, a file will be created, okay, which, as you can see here, we specified, okay, all the text that will be printed. Okay, this example, by the way, is in Python, similar to what we did last time using Perl. Okay, and then, okay, let's proceed to another example. Okay, so I have here, okay, I have here another example. In this example, we're going to be using a jar file, okay, from a Java project. Okay, so this is, by the way, it's called hire.jar, which is this one. Okay, which is this Java project. Okay, so this Java project is compiled, okay, and it will create a jar file. Okay, it will create a jar file, as you can see here. Okay, so using that jar file, I simply copied that folder and place it in my Windows virtual machine. So as you can see, I have here the project folder called hire. Okay, so using the location of the jar file, which is found here, okay, this is the path of the jar file. Okay, this is just an escape character, that's why you have two slashes. Okay, so I have here two examples. You can use this statement to specify a jar file from a Java project, or you can also use this. Either way, it will work. Okay, so I just commented this out because I'm going to be using this example, but either way, these two statements will do the same thing. Okay, so using our auto class using JNIOS, this is, by the way, a library that can integrate your Java program to Python. Okay, so using auto class, okay, by using this library, okay, we can now call this class. Okay, so the small letter higher here is because of this one. Okay, this is the name of the package. So the name of the package is higher. Okay, and then the name of the class is capital H higher. Okay, so we have here our entire project, and this one is the class. Okay, so we're assigning it to this object or variable. Okay, creating an instance of it, assigning it to this variable. Okay, and then calling its method. okay, which is get greetings. Okay, so get greetings is this one. So if you call get greetings, okay, it will return this variable, okay, this field. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, uh, okay, it will return. Okay, so by calling this one, okay, since we already called this constructor, okay, so we call this constructor already because of this without any parameter, okay, without any parameter. So this variable now contains a value welcome. Okay, so when calling this method, okay, this statement, we call that method, okay, we printed, okay, let me run this first. Okay, this is example jar. Okay, so we will now print welcome. So this is welcome because we called the constructor without any parameter. Since it assigns a value to greetings, calling this method, okay, will return greetings. Okay, so this is greetings, and then using or calling another method called set greetings, this one, we're going to change the value of this variable to whatever it is that you type inside the parameter. In this case, hello. Okay, so greetings will now be changed to hello. Okay, so as you can see here, calling this method again, get greetings, okay, we're going to print the contents of this variable. So this will result to hello. Okay, so this is welcome and this one is hello. Okay, so this is an example of how to integrate Java project using jar in Python. Okay, so another example is this one. Okay, so this is the example we used last time in Perl. So this example program taken from this website, okay, reads the contents of the XML file and prints its entire content. Okay, in this case I added some changes. Okay, I placed the entire code in a method. So by calling this method, it will return a string. So the string here is this one, which is the contents of the entire XML file that is being concatenated here. Okay, so what I did, I copied the entire project folder called this one, Java read XML. Okay, so I compiled this one, created a jar file, copied the entire project folder. Okay, copy this one in my Windows 7. Okay, as you can see here, and the path of the jar file, okay, is placed here. Okay, as you can see, so this is the path of my jar file. Okay, so that's the path of my jar file, and then I simply called the class. Okay, this one, Java read XML, is because of this. Okay, this is the package, Java read XML, small letter J, R, and XML. Okay, as you can see, Java read XML. And then this one is the class. Okay, Java read XML, capital J and R. Okay, so this one creates an instance of our class, assigning it to this variable. Okay, so using that variable now, we can call the method, okay, which is this one. So we just call this method and it execute everything and assign it to this variable. Okay, and after calling this method, it will return a string. Okay, so that's why we can print, okay, the contents or the result of calling this method. So if you run this program, okay, so this is sample 3. It will print the entire XML file, okay, which is this one. Okay, this one. So this is the entire XML file that will be printed, okay, because our code is referring to drive C. Inside this folder there should be an XML file, okay, similar thing to what is happening here. So inside drive C there is a file inside this folder. Okay, so that's it for now. Till next time.